Welcome to UniVoyage. I am Ambuj Rai, and today we have with us Miss Shubhangi Avasthi, and she's also a published poet. Her poem recently got published in the anthology series Unheard, and she's also a national level debate champion. So now we'll ask Miss Avasthi to introduce herself apart from these exceptional achievements. So, Miss Avasthi, if you can please elaborate on that.
Thanks a lot for the lovely introduction, Ambuj. So, hi everyone. I am Shubhangi Avasthi. I'm from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. And yes, as Ambuj said, I am a published writer. My poem got published in the anthology Unheard. I love to write. I studied science in class 9th and 10th, and then I switched to commerce with maths in 11th and 12th. I scored 95.6% in my 10th boards, and I achieved 95% in my 12th boards.
Well, thanks, Miss Avasthi, for that introduction. So, how has your experience been like at IIM Indore so far?
IIM Indore is an exciting place. It's a very culturally diverse place, so you get the chance to interact with your batchmates who come from every corner of the country and abroad. I thought it would be a difficult ride for me because I am an introvert. But when you get a cooperative and a supportive group of friends, you find your people, you get attached to them, and then it feels like a wonderful and smooth ride. I won't say it's very easy, but yes, if you learn to adjust, which hostel life is all about, if you learn to compromise in some places, it would be good.
Uh, so, was IPMAT the only exam that you were preparing for, or were there some other exams that you applied for?
IPMAT was actually never my first choice. My first choice was Shram College of Commerce. I always thought I'd do exceptionally well in my 12th boards and then I'll go to SRCC. But turns out I couldn't reach the 100% or 99.5% mark because the cutoffs for SRCC go very high. This year they were like 99.5, but I just scored 95%. So yeah, that was out of the list. I filled the form of DUJAT as well, but fate has its own play. And DUJAT and IPMAT fell on the exact same date. So I couldn't appear for DUJAT as well. So all I was left with was IPMAT.
When did you start your preparation, and what was your mode of study? Like, did you self study or did you enroll in a coaching, like something like that?
I started preparing for IPMAT after I was disappointed with my 12th board results. When I got to know that I won't be able to make it to DU to SRCC. So I thought I should devote myself to IPMAT because that was the only thing I had in my hands. So I enrolled myself in a crash course by Time Institute, and I used to study for around 10 hours a day because I knew I had just 1.5 months with me. And it's definitely not enough to prepare yourself for such a competitive entrance, which has its candidates from across all the streams. So, yeah, I devoted myself completely to IPMAT. I used to divide my 24 hours into 6 slots, which totaled to 10 hours. I started my day with verbal ability. I used to sit with the newspaper and I used to go through the editorials they have, the news articles, the daily ritual, underlining the new words, keeping account, making a diary, and then going through the diary at the end of the day. I used to switch between verbal ability and quants so that I don't get bored of either of the subjects.
So I think then some of my next questions would be ones that every aspirant has when they are preparing for any exam. So it's one of the most sought after question. What were the books that you referred to for your preparation?
Apart from the study material provided by Time Institute, I went for an excellent book for verbal ability, that is Word Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis. It is definitely one of the best books I've come across in my life for English grammar. I don't think it is viable to go for Renan Martin when you are at such a level. You cannot afford to start from square one, learning every rule of noun, learning every rule of grammar, punctuation. That's not feasible. You have to build up your diction, you have to build up your vocabulary. And Word Power Made Easy is a book written in a conversational form. So you feel as if the book is talking to you. So it makes it very interesting. And the second book which I went for was Brush Up Your English by St. Imam. Amazing book. It has got top notch verbal ability exercises and it really prepares you for a difficult entrance. For cons, I'd say I went for Quicker Maths by M. Tyra. Amazing book again. You can also go for books by Anand Sharma and Pearson. Actually, I did not have much time to solve each and every book from. I did not have the time to start from scratch. So I had to make the most of what I had. I had to make the most of the 1.5 months I had with me. One advice I would like to give is that trust your study material. If you sit with one book, trust it, have faith in it. If you go for 100 and 150 books, you keep swinging back and forth, let me do this, let me do that, you'll too many cooks spoil the broth. So don't go for a lot of books. Build your collection with 3 or 4 books, solve them completely, resolve them. When you mark the difficult questions, resolve them. Don't go for too many books, don't juggle up everything.
Well, I must say, I totally agree with your point about too many cooks spoil the broth. So now the next question is, how important do you think mocks are, and what was your strategy for solving mocks?
Mocks are the most significant part of your study. I'd say to divide your strategy into meaningful steps. Step one should be to solve your study material. Mark the difficult points. Analyze what are your weakness and what's your strength. Step two would be to work on your weakness and brush up your strength as well. Step three, that's the last step. That would be solving mocks. Sit for 1 mock a day, because if you go for 2 mocks a day or 3 mocks a day, you wouldn't be able to devote time and effort, specifically. Sit with 1 mock, start with the mocks are very important as they give you a taste of the real life entrance examination, because they give you a taste of negative marking. You will get to know how to play with negative marking, how many questions to attempt, how much time to devote to every question, because you cannot solve every question in the paper. Keep this in mind. Your goal is not to prove that you're worthy enough and you can solve every question. Of course not. The goal is to maximize your marks. So you've got to be very greedy. If you're certain that you don't know this question and you'll end up taking around 5 minutes, straight away reject it. Don't go for it. Analyze what questions you'd be easily able to ace through. Solve those questions at first. And the second category of questions would be the questions you know how to solve, but you'll know that they'll take more than a minute. Solve them in the second go. And the third category of the questions would be which you don't know how to approach. You have no idea where to begin, and you cannot recall if you've studied the concepts thoroughly or not. Leave those questions. Absolutely no need to attempt such questions which you're not sure about. The number of questions that you attempt is not that important. Accuracy is what you have to aim for. And the same goes for verbal ability as well. If you're confused with the para jumble questions or the vocabulary questions, you're not sure if this word would fit, or you feel every option is correct, straight away leave them. Be greedy for marks. Be greedy. You don't have to attempt every question. Mocks, the strategy which you follow for your actual entrance exam, which you have in your mind, follow the same for your mocks. And when you'll see your mock test score, and you'll see that it improves day by day, that's your progress. Sit for a mock, do it, and then analyze what questions you left because of the time constraint and which question you couldn't do because you didn't know how to approach them, and then revise those concepts. And do this regularly for around 15 to 20 days before your actual entrance examination, because that's where your real preparation lies. And when you sit for your actual entrance examination, you will feel that you're one step ahead of others, because you are used to that timer ticking in your head and the negative marking, the style of approaching the questions. You're used to it. You're already mentally present in that examination place. So it would be very easy for you and you'll ace.
Well, my next question would be, how did you approach the questions in this year's IPMET paper?
This year's IB Math paper was very different because it had a completely different format, which I had not prepared myself for. We had 20 questions, 20 MCQ quant questions, out of which I did 11. I did 8 out of the 10 short quant questions, and I went for 27 questions out of the 30 in the verbal ability. And the way I approached my questions, it clearly portrays that I did not went for maximizing the number of questions I can do. I went for accuracy. I was confident about just 8 questions out of the 10, so I did them. I left the 2. I had the time. I had around 2 to 3 minutes left, but I knew that I'll mess them up. And it's better to, not go for it than to land up with a negative marking. And the same went for verbal ability as well. I was not sure about, there are many people who attempt 30 out of 30 questions in verbal ability because they have the time. It's not about whether you have the time to do it or not. It's about if you're confident. If I attempted 27 out of the 30, I was 100% confident that these 27 are correct. And for the rest 3, I was around 60% sure. So, it's not feasible to land up with negative marking. And same goes for quant as well. I did 11 out of the 20 MCQ questions we had because I was not sure about the 9. They might have been correct, they might not have been. And what's the point of taking the risk?
So, well, Ms. Awasthi, thanks for joining us. My last question would be, what would be your message to the aspirants preparing for the IP Math?
My message and advice would be to create a strategy and to stick to it. The first thing I did when I started my preparation was to make a timetable, and I promised myself that I will stick to it no matter what happens. I don't care if it's raining outside, or I don't care if I have to go out with my friends to watch a movie. If I made that timetable, I will diligently follow it. Even if the apocalypse comes, it doesn't matter. So you should go for the same and believe in yourself. Confidence is the key. Don't think that others might have started preparing for like years back. They might have prepared for 2 years and I'll be preparing for just 1 month. See, I prepared for just 1.5 months. Still, I did it because I was confident in my preparation. I had faith in my study material. So faith and confidence, that's the key. And you'll definitely make it to Planet I.
Well, thank you, Ms. Awasthi, for your wonderful insights. So there you have it, guys. Ms. Shubhangi Awasthi, the IR2 for this year's IP Math paper for IIM Indore. So thanks for joining us. And please don't forget to subscribe to UniVoyage for more such videos. And if you want to connect with Ms. Awasthi, her social media links would be in the description of this video. And also the social media links for UniVoyage would also be in the video. So please make sure to check that out. Thanks for joining us. Now we'll take a leave. Thanks.